starting off, we're just going to do the neck, so just all the ranges of motion. So we're just going to be going into flexion, bring the chin to the chest, and then bring the head back, looking up to the ceiling. And then you can just repeat that around 10 times in each direction. And then you're just going to do a side bend for the neck, so you're just going to be bringing your ear to your shoulder, and then slowly moving from side to side. And just do 10 again. And then you're just going to be rotating the neck then, so you're just going to be looking over your left shoulder, and then looking over your right shoulder. And then again, just repeating that a few times either side. And then to finish off the neck then, you can just move the head slowly around into a big circle. And you can just do that a few times either direction. When you've one direction done, you can just go. And we're just going to go onto the shoulders then next. So we're just going to start with the push-up plus. So you're just going to get onto all fours, just having the knees under the hips and hands underneath the shoulders. And then once you get set, make sure you have a nice neutral back, so you can just do the cat camel, go into flexion extension, then settle somewhere in the middle. And then once you're set then, it's going to be like doing a push-up, but you're going to keep the arms straight. And you're just going to be pushing the chest out and dropping the shoulders. And then doing the opposite, going back up, so you're just going to push the shoulder blades back, and the chest is going to come up. And you're just going to be dropping up and down into that, just setting the shoulders, hold it for a few seconds and cut back out. And you should just feel that in the shoulder blade just there at the back. It's a good one for just setting the shoulders and working on the stability in them. And then if you want to progress it then as well, you can just do the same thing up against the wall. Starting against the wall will be easier. This will be kind of the middle one. And then to make that harder then, you could just go into a complete push-up position. And then just do the same thing again. It's just doing the wall alphabet, so just the wall circles. So all you need is a small ball or a piece of paper. And just going to be setting the shoulders again, just like we did in the push-up plus. Just pushing the chest out, shoulders come in. And then all you're going to do is straight arm up against the wall, and you're just going to have the ball or the piece of paper under, and you can just do your circles, or just do the alphabet. Keeping the arms straight and keeping the shoulders set. And you don't want to be bending the arm in as you're doing it. And then just going around the other direction then as well if you're doing the circles. And then just switching arms then again. Just doing the circles, doing the alphabet again. Making sure you have the shoulders set and keeping the arms straight. So next time we're just going to do exercises for the thoracic spine, or just your upper back. So we're just going to be working that area up here. And this can be good to just help loosen up the shoulders as well if you suffer from tight shoulders or any injuries up there as well. So first one we're going to start with is just the open book, closed book. So you're just going to be lying on your side, and you're just going to have the two hands out straight in front, and you're just going to have hip stacked, knee stacked, neck stacked, and just about 45-degree angle between the knees and the ankle, and then the knees and the hip. And once they're stacked then, hands on top of each other, and all you're going to be doing for open closed book is just bringing that top hand, and you're just going to follow that with your eyes all the way around as far as you can get. And you just feel a stretch in there behind the shoulder and the back. And you're just slowly bringing that over as far as you can, all the way to the ground if you're able to. And you can just do that about 10 times each side. And then just to make that one harder then as well, you're just going to be doing the same thing again. So just hips, knees and ankle stacked, and then the 45 degrees between the knee and the ankle and the knee and the hip. Hands on top of each other then, but rather than going over, we're just going to, this one's called the windmill, so just hands on top of each other then, arms straight, and you're just going to run that hand along the ground. You don't need to follow this one with your eyes. And then you're just going to open up the shoulder and bring it around then. Just open up as far as you can, keep it as close to the ground as you can the whole time, until you have to rotate it and bring it around. Just going around into a circle as big as you can. The closer you can keep it to the ground, the more of a stretch you'll feel. And you can just do that 10 times each side again. Lower spine then, your lower back. So you're just going to be on all fours then, knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. And all you're going to be doing is letting the back go down, bringing the head up. So you're just arching the back. And then you're bringing the head down, the back goes up. So your head and back are always going to be doing the opposite to each other. So just back down, head up. Head down, back up. And just constantly changing the two. And you can do that about 10 times. So one rep is going to be bringing the back down, head up, head down, back up, and that's one rep. So going through the flexion and extension of the back is just one rep, so just getting that done 10 times. And just for the hips then, we have the 90-90 stretch, which is a good one for mobility and just keeping the hips open and nice and loose. So you're just going to have one leg out in front, so starting at the hip, knees going to come down straight, and then just 90 degrees then to the ankle, or as close to 90 as you can get. And then the other hip is just going to go from down to the knee, straight again, and then 90 or as close to 90 as you can get. So then like both legs are just going to be at 90 degrees to each other. And what you can do is just put one hand outside the knee, one hand outside the foot, and you're just going down to feel the stretch. And then what you can do as well, you're just going to rotate it from side to side, and you can do that stretch on that other side then as well if you want. Or you can just keep moving the stretch. So you're just going to constantly switch from side to side. And if you need a bit of support as well, you can just keep the hands down behind you, just to make it easier. And that way you're just keeping your upper body stable with the hands, and you're just allows you to move the legs a lot easier, and you're still going to feel that stretch in the hips. And then another one that kind of works the hips as well, and it just opens up the groins in that adductor area. So it's just going to be frog sit. So it's going to be bringing the knees out as wide as you can. Inside of the knees are going to be on the ground, and so the inside of your feet and ankles will be on the ground as well. And just leaning on the elbows out in front, and then all you're going to do is rock back and forth, going back as far as you can, and you'll feel a nice stretch just in that adductor and groin area. And then just leaning out of it, and just slowly going back into it, trying to get a bit deeper into it each time. And you're just going to go for about 10 reps of this. And I'll just show that to you from the side then as well. So just getting the knees and ankles as wide as you can, elbows out in front, and then just slowly going back into it, and then out in front just to get out of the stretch, and then just going back into the stretch as well, trying to go a bit further into it. What we're doing is just for the hamstring, so we're just going to do our single leg RDL. So if you need something to hold on to, you can just have a chair in front or anything in front, and you can just have the hands on it. And then you're just putting the leg back like that, and you're just going to feel it in that standing leg. And when you're doing it as well, you don't want the hips to sway from side to side, so holding on to it, you should be able to keep that hip control as well. And you just have a slight bend of the knee as well to make it easier. And then just doing it without support then. Just getting the leg up in front, and doing it nice and slow and controlled. And you can put the hands out to the sides or have them out in front. And then just switching sides then. And then just seeing it from that way then, so just when you go back, you want to watch that. You want to watch that hip swaying from side to side. So naturally when you do it, your hips are going to want to open up to the side that your leg's standing on. So you just have to do it nice and slow to try and stop that. You do about 5 of those each side. Then we're just doing it for the calves, the knee to wall. So what you're doing is just one foot in front and the other foot behind. And all you're going to be doing is just bring that knee to the wall or as close as you can get. And you don't want the ankles to be lifting up. So I'm just going to go a bit further then. And you're just going to be going to the wall and you'll just be feeling the stretch in the back of that calf and the back leg. And it's good for ankle mobility as well. And then just switching legs then. And just get to the wall or as close to the wall as you can get. Not letting the ankles lift. Just feel a nice stretch on the back of the calf. And just do about 10 of those each side. Last one we're going to do then is just for ankle mobility. So you can just be sitting on the chair or on the bed or on the ground or anywhere. And you're just going to have one leg bent there, it's going to be straight. And one that's straight, you're just going to be doing flexion and extension of that. So it's going to be pointing for plantar flexion, you're just going to be pointing it towards the ground or just away from you. And then for dorsiflexion, then you're just pointing it towards you. And then you're just going to be alternating between the two of those. You can just do about 10 to 15 in each direction. And then once you've then done 10 in each direction, then just going to do inversion, eversion, which is just bringing inversion is just bringing the foot in, and then eversion is just bringing the ankle outwards. So it's going to be doing 10 to 15 in each direction again. Just bring it in and out, nice and slow. Hold it for a second or two in each direction as well if you want. Just bring that in and out each direction. And then once you've the 10 of those done each direction, then you can just do ankle circles then. So just doing 10 each direction, nice and slow. And then just doing 10 the opposite direction then as well.